All right, everyone. So in the mail the other day, I got one of those notices that really nobody likes to see. And it was the notice that there's a sex offender living in the area. So I showed the picture and the notice to my daughter, and we had a good talk about it. I asked her if she had any questions at the end. But one of the things that I made sure that she understood is this is why I need to know where you are when you're out playing. So when I say be out in front, be out in front. You can't be around the side. You can't be around in areas that I'm not familiar with. Playing too close to the streets, going too close to other people's homes, especially that we don't know. All of those things are measures, in my estimation as a parent, to help keep her safe. Um, and everybody's going to parent different. But here's also the thing to remember. A lot of these people who came up and ended up becoming molesters, child rapists, whatever, however we want to label them, sex offenders, started off as victims. They started off as victims themselves. And so that's the important part to remember in a lot of these cases, because I was also on a neighborhood website, and somebody else had posted, and so a lot of the commentary was pretty vicious. Ranging from taking care of them themselves if they see them, to lock them away and cut it off and things like that. And my feeling personally is, if those are the angles that you're taking, you're as bad, if not worse, than they are themselves. Yes, doing things to children is egregious. It's horrific. I am not defending it. But if you are a logical, thinking, rational person, then maiming somebody or unjustly punishing them isn't the answer. And if you're that offended by the notion of a sex offender being free and walking the streets where your children may play, instead of being on a website writing your neighbors about it, you need to be writing your legislators about it. You need to be out having petitions signed. You need to be out making real change, rather than complaining from the comfort of your own homes. Now, part of that also is, people will say, well, it's dangerous to have our kids. I see people putting their kids in way more danger than sex offenders, by way of just allowing their children to be. I see kids, small kids, on busy streets, walking to bus stops or walking wherever. I've seen children that I wasn't even sure could ride a bike, on busy streets, that were barely teetering on their bike. I get it. Everybody's got their own struggle. And some people will say, well, I don't have a choice. Yes, you do. When it comes to the security and the safety of your children, you do have a choice. And some of those choices may not be popular. Like my opinion right now may not be popular. But you have choices that may not be popular, and it may not be what you want to do. But it might be what you need to do if putting your children in inherent danger is your answer to parenting. It's not a judgment. These are just facts. There are options. You may not like your options, but there are options. I'm gonna keep it pretty short. But if we are going to talk about doing damage and unjust punishment to people, just remember, a lot of people may not have actually done the things they were accused of either. And again, are we going to continue to compound people being victimized at a young age, by when they turn around and do the same thing, then they become now extremely punished? These are just my thoughts, but we definitely have to have some sort of understanding that this isn't just a case of creepy people doing, dirty things to young children because they choose to. A lot of people are repeating a cycle that is extremely hard to break, and it's harder to break when they're thrown into prisons, rather than given actual psychological help, often from an early age on, when they're not believed by their parents or other people that they've shared with, or when they just haven't had the bravery to bring it up yet. So But this is not the answer. Maiming people and unjust punishment as far as life sentences and things like that. There's life sentences for a reason, and they come under certain guidelines. You have to have committed certain crimes. So, um, again, if you are this upset about it, write your legislation rather than posting on your Facebook, going on your neighborhood website chat groups and things like that, unless you are actually making real waves and momentum to have something changed in your area. I'm going to leave it at that. Continue to educate each other, stay safe, and again, this is about the kids. So make sure that you're doing the best that you can for them. All right. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.